What's good, YouTube? It's your man Rage King back with another one. Yes, another upload to the channel. And before we get started, please go down there and hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that share button, hit that bell for notifications if you're new. Welcome to Rage Rants TV. This is how we do Rage and Rebels. Crown up. And if you're new to the crew, welcome to the Rage and Rebel Revolution. Now let's vibe. And y'all, tough day yesterday. Real tough day yesterday for the Houston Texans. Faced the Denver Broncos yesterday. Ultimately lost a very hard fought game. But in my opinion, I want to go through the reasons why I think we lost this game. Okay, you look at the scores. We got outscored 10-0 in the fourth quarter. We scored in literally, even though they were just field goals, we scored in every quarter except the fourth quarter. You must score in the fourth quarter if you want to have a chance to compete in this league. I think we did a good job overall on defense, holding a Russell Wilson-led offense to 16 points. Anytime you hold a Russell Wilson-led offense to 16 points and below, you are supposed to win that game. However, it is impossible to beat a Russell Wilson-led offense when you hold it to 16 points, but your offense can only give you 9. All right? So I want to start off with the fact that the Texans did not score a touchdown yesterday. That is a huge issue. You must be able to score touchdowns to be able to compete in the NFL, all right? Defense may win championships, but offense wins you games. If you can't score, you can't win. And I think ultimately that's what cost it. That's one of the reasons why the Texans cost themselves this game. And I'm going to be honest with you. I honestly think that the Texans did more to lose this game more than Denver did to win. Let me show you what I mean. We scroll down here, right? The first thing that pops up to me is rushing yards and yards per play. 150 rushing yards on the day. Our defense, though they did a great job against the pass for the most part for what they had, they got the ball ran down their throats. They really did. When you average 5.4 yards a play, that means on average you are going to score a first down on every 2 plays. On average, that didn't ultimately happen, but on average you're going to score a first down every 2 plays, which means you can stay on the field longer. You can stay on the field more. You have more of an opportunity to score. If you can convert third downs, you can stay on the field longer. You keep your defense fresh, and that gives you more of an opportunity to score. Speaking of third down, neither team did well on third down, but when it mattered most, look who got more of them. If you want to see why your team lost and you're looking at the stats and nothing really jumps out at you, if you're not a big football nerd like I am, always come down to third down efficiency. Third down efficiency determines who stays on the field. If you can convert on third down more than the other team, 9 times out of 10 you're going to win. Though they both were absolutely terrible yesterday at third down, when it mattered most and they needed it, guess who was able to perform better than the other team? The Broncos. They were able to literally make one better play on third down than the Texans were, and almost the same amount of opportunities. Also, come down here to fourth down efficiency, because this is a new era of football. We go for it on fourth down like it's a game of Madden whenever we get a chance. You look at this right here, fourth down efficiency. They are 1 for 1, we are 1 for 3. So if we convert these 2 third downs, we stay on the field longer, we have a greater chance to actually score a touchdown in this game. Did not happen. Also, I want to come down to the sacks allowed. They allowed 3, we allowed 3. I want y'all to pay attention to something. When a quarterback is able to deliver a great throw, it's usually coming because he's able to set his feet, he's able to drop back, set his feet, step into his throw. I did not see that with Davis Mills yesterday. I did not see that with Davis Mills. He was literally back that if he wasn't tap dancing on his feet because he was trying to be aware for the pressure that was ultimately coming, because the Broncos brought pressure upon pressure upon pressure yesterday. It didn't really look like he was able to set his feet. It was like he was tap dancing if he wasn't running for his life. We have got to shore up this offensive line. We have got to get the O-line has got to get better. I understand we're still trying to figure it out. I understand that we really only have Laramie Tunsil. We've got a few draft picks on the line, but they're still very young. They're still very green, so to speak. No pun intended. Speaking of Davis Mills, man, this right here. You go to Davis Mills right here. You look at the stat line for Davis Mills. 19 for 38, 177 yards. Didn't have any turnovers. He didn't have any turnovers. But this right here is not good enough. Completing 50% of your passes in the NFL is not good enough to get you a victory. It's not good enough to win consistently, especially when you don't have the defense can play. The defense did play well. They did. But ultimately, as I said, The Texans cost themselves this game more than the Broncos won this game. You look at this, 19 for 38, 177 yards, no touchdowns, didn't have any interceptions, didn't have any turnovers. He did have a fumble. He did get sacked 3 times. But Davis Mills did not look very good yesterday. He didn't. Whether it be the offensive line not blocking and missing assignments, or whether it be wide receivers missing open passes and dropping passes, whatever the case may be, this is not good enough to get the job done. Will Davis Mills have a bounce-back game? I would hope so, but in this game, he wasn't the Davis Mills that we're accustomed to seeing. He wasn't the Davis Mills that completed 66% of his passing completions last season. You understand what I'm saying? This guy looked like a completely different Davis Mills. I'm not even going to lie. Davis Mills yesterday, whether it be the defense, the O-line, or maybe some drop passes and key moments, Davis Mills looked like a backup quarterback yesterday. He did. I'm just being honest. He looked like a backup quarterback yesterday. I'm not even going to lie. I'll come out and admit. I even said I'm starting to question whether Davis Mills is the guy we want to trust going forward. Whether that be one bad game or not from him, but this cannot continue to happen. This can happen. You look at Dameon Pierce yesterday, he got the ball a bit more, but I think we want to push this carry total up. We want to push this carry total up to about 20 to 25, and we want to knock this attempts down to about 25 to 30 for Davis Mills. We really want to do that because, as I said last week, and I'm going to say again, when you have him throw the ball too much, and I think honestly you want to max his throwing attempts to about maybe 35, maybe tops, but the more we put the ball in Davis Mills' hands, the more he is at risk of taking hits, the more he is at risk of making it and throwing an interception, getting a turnover, the more predictable the offense becomes. So I think we need to knock this attempts down for Davis Mills, knock that down to about 30, and push the carries up for Dameon Pierce and for Rex Burkhead, who for some reason did not play, did not get a carry yesterday, which is crazy to me. He did play, but he didn't get a carry yesterday, which makes me scratch my head. He's going to help out with the run. He's going to help out with the running game. He's a vet that can teach this young rookie right here the ins and outs on how to be a better running back. He can watch film. He can watch him. He can go out there and watch him play. But I think ultimately we have to run the ball more than 18 times, especially if we got a running back who's showing promise in Dameon Pierce, and we got a guy like Rex Burkhead who can still give you some production and also help ease the load on Dameon Pierce so we don't wear him out through the season. Also, another thing I want to look at, Brandon Cooks. We got to get more production from him. You're the number one receiver. You've had 6 1,000-yard seasons, which is top 5 in NFL history. We've got to get Brandon Cooks the ball more. We've got to get the ball in his hands more. And he also had a key drop in the key moment also yesterday. But we've got to get Brandon Cooks. He's the number one receiver. We've got to get him the ball more. We have got to get him the ball more. And also O.J. Howard, that guy we just signed, who's a darn good tight end. We have got to get these two guys the ball. Those are our playmakers. Those are the guys in the open field and the guys in the red zone that are going to help us get more touchdowns. You saw last week when we threw O.J. Howard the ball, he got 2 touchdowns in the red zone. That's where he thrives. We got to the red zone, and yet we just didn't target him. Why is that? Could it be good defense? Could it be, O-line missing assignments? Whatever the case may be, we have got to get Brandon Cooks and O.J. Howard the ball. We have got to get our playmakers. Those are our playmakers. We have got to give them the ball. Last thing I want to look at, I'm going to go back to the stats here. The thing that killed the Texans the most, in my opinion, penalties. My Lord, the penalties. The penalties have got to stop. They have got to stop. Now, I understand that this is a young team. I understand this is a team that is in rebuild. They're really in rebuild mode, but they want to tell people they're in evolution mode. Evolution and rebuild kind of go hand in hand in this situation, because you can try to rebuild and evolutionize all you want to, but the more you continue to have penalties in key situations, which they continue to do constantly yesterday, and it was really starting to irk my nerves. When you have 8 penalties that cost you 94 yards, there go possibly your 2 touchdowns right there. Penalties. We cannot have penalties. Penalties do nothing but hurt us and help the other team. That is the quickest way to beat yourself when you have penalties. You cannot have penalties. Are penalties going to happen? Yes. But this number should never get over 3. It should never get over 3. You have more than 3 penalties or 3 turnovers, the magic number is 3 in my opinion. If you have more, if you can score at least 3 touchdowns, keep your opponent from scoring 3 touchdowns, and keep your penalties and turnovers under 3, you have a chance to win the game, because that eliminates the ability for you to beat yourself. You find more ways to lose a game in football than you can to win. And yesterday, I understand that Broncos had more penalties, but the penalties we had were in key situations where we were primed to score, were in key situations where we were about to get off the field. This cannot happen, and this is a discipline issue. This is simply a discipline issue. We have better discipline on the football team. We have every chance to win. And much like I said before the season started about this Houston Texans team, I don't expect us to win a lot of games, but I expect us to be competitive in a lot of games and probably lose a lot of close games we probably had a chance to win. We tied last week with Indianapolis Colts. Now we're seeing the same thing here with the Broncos. So I do give credit where credit is due for that coaching staff and Lovie Smith and the GM staff with led by Nick Casario, who are doing a great job in keeping the team competitive. We may not have won, but we are staying competitive. We're seeing where we're losing at. If we can get better discipline, lower these penalties down, and start scoring, give ourselves more ability to score on offense, give ourselves more chances to score on offense, then we'll be fine. I think we're definitely headed in the right direction. Even in a loss, you never like to lose, but we stayed competitive and we had every chance to win. I just think that we ultimately cost ourselves as we couldn't stop getting penalties and we couldn't get big third downs when we needed them. But that's just my opinion. Y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all think about the Texans loss, and how do y'all think we won? How do y'all think we're going to do going forward? How do y'all think we lost? How do y'all think we're going to do going forward, man? As long as y'all remain respectful and logical, we can have a conversation. That's the end of my video. Hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Have a good day.